Thank you, everyone, for holding. We are now joined with head coach Mark Hudspeth of Louisiana Lafayette. If you have a question for Coach Hudspeth, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Again, that's star 1 to get in the queue. The Raging Cajuns are coming off of a 30-24 victory against Louisiana Monroe last week in their homecoming game. The Cajuns now travel to Atlanta, Georgia to take on Georgia State. That game will take place at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 p.m. Central from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, and will be televised on ESPN3. Coach Hudspeth, before we get to questions, why don't you get us started with your thoughts on last week's game against Louisiana Monroe and this week's game against Georgia State?
Well, I'm really proud of the football team on how we responded at halftime and came back and found a way to get back into the game and then win the game there late in the fourth quarter. Give Louisiana Monroe a lot of credit. They came in sky and played awfully well, and it's evident that they've got a good team and they've played a very good schedule. But proud of our guys, proud of the way we battled, proud of Brooks Hack came in the second half and did some nice things to get us in the end zone, as well as our kicking game in the second half was probably just as big a factor as anything, as we blocked the punt and then returned the punt down to the 15. So we gave the offense a short field with the special teams there in the second half, and that was critical to getting back into the game. Defensively, we pitched a shutout there in the second half, and that was obviously another big part of how we were able to win, with Dominic Tovell getting 11 tackles and a lot of production points with 2 sacks and the fumble recovery and the fumble calls. So now we got to head to Atlanta to play a much improved Georgia State team that really took Arkansas State, looked like, down to the wire up in Jonesboro. So I know they're much improved. I know they do a great job over there with those guys, and so we've got a big challenge ahead of us.
Thank you very much, Coach Hudspeth. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions at this time. Before we get to that, Coach, we just had Todd Berry on here talking about some of the conditions on Saturday, making it for a unique pregame warm-up and, a unique game in general. Did you notice that the rain and the wetness of the field and the footballs, did that have an effect on the game at all?
Well, I would say so, but it was for both teams. It's not like it was a disadvantage for one team. Both teams struggled, to throw the football, an awful lot, although they seemed to handle the wet ball, throwing the ball a little better than we did. But we ended up with no turnovers, and that was, a big part of the game, to be able to go through 4 quarters in that type of weather conditions and not have any turnovers.
And how would you assess Brooks Hack coming in the second half, and what did you see from his performance in the second half that led you guys to that win?
Well, he did what he does, and he managed the game well, and he when he had a chance to make a big throw, he came through when he hit Jamal on the long touchdown pass to put us up there with about 3 minutes to go in the game. He was, he got the short field a few times though with the special teams plays that we were able to create, but he came through and made some big plays, and now we're sort of back to where we were before, trying to figure out what we're going to do at the quarterback position. I think we're, before said and done, we're going to try to find a role for both these guys. They're both effective.
And you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but the special teams play, with a block kick. I mean, how big were those special teams plays on Saturday leading you guys to that win?
Well, giving us the short field twice with the block punt, and then we returned the punt down to the 15, gave us a chance to get back into the game quicker than having to drive 80 yards in that type of weather. And so that aided us an awful lot. And then our freshman field goal kicker made 3 out of 4, and in that type of weather, which was also very productive. And so we're getting better as a team. A lot of new starters this year, all on both sides of the ball, and we're continuing to improve and find ways to win. But it's one thing this team's got. They got a lot of fight in them. And we continue to show that each week as we play well in the second half.
Finally, Coach, it's no secret that Georgia State wants to throw the ball on Saturday and to be successful. What's really the key to stopping their passing attack that's led by a quarterback like Nick Arbuckle?
Well, I tell you, I think he's probably the most prolific passer in this conference. The guy, he's a proven passer, and he's had a lot of proven success. He's not his first rodeo. He's been in the league a while now. And he's got some really good targets, and they give him good time to throw the ball. And I don't know if you stop him, you just want to try to slow him down a little bit, and you hope your offense can keep the ball out of his hands a little bit, and you hope that you can score some points yourself, because we've had some really close games with these guys the last 2 years, and last year we were fortunate to get out of here with a win when they were ahead of us late in the fourth quarter. So Coach Miles does a great job with those guys, and it's obvious that he's got them on the right track over there in Atlanta.
Thank you very much, Coach Hudspeth. That's all the questions we have for today. We appreciate your time.